and will be available on the virtual office tomorrow. So I think it's 9. Let's get started with a quick format about the call, since it's the very first leadership call. What we usually want to do is want to give you a market overview, what's going on in the Juice Plus world in Europe, or actually we should say EMEA, Europe, Middle East, soon Africa, because as you know, we're going to expand. We're going to talk about this a little bit in today's call, but actually it's all what happens in the EMEA world. So it can be numbers in percentages, growth numbers. It can be other highlights, any recent happenings. We're just going to give you a quick ride on all the updates that are happening in the calls. The second big thing, of course, is that we always have a tremendous guest speaker in the call. It can be a corporate person or it can be somebody from field leadership. Maybe I even do a poll about that over the next months. You can suggest or recommend you'd like to hear from. The speaker for this call is, of course, fixed. I'm very proud that he is with us. Going to announce it in a minute. And the next call is also fixed. But from that moment on, over the next 12 months, we are going to pick a few amazing speakers. And it's all about picking those people's brains, getting their firsthand information, and learn a little bit more of what all the things they can convey to us. And the third part of the call is usually a call to actions, any kind of action announcements that we are going to make. So let's get started with the first part before we call up our guest speaker. And this is a little bit of market overview. Those of you who've attended the Berlin convention or also the convention in Bournemouth had seen in the past part of Dan Holtzman and myself that we've had an amazing growth over the last 3 years, which was actually that we tripled 200% growth. And I want to go with you a little bit through the market and show you what actually the reasons for that is and what the markets decide to do, what the leadership and the regional director and the market as a team decide to do in order to move forward. So let's start with a small, isolated but very, very impressive market, and that's actually Israel. That's actually our first market, not directly in Europe, it's in the Middle East. And Israel is a very constantly growing market, very traditional market. It's very Juice Plus capsule oriented. And I think the reason why these guys grew so incredibly is that they created a very elite image around Juice Plus. I mean, they distinguished themselves pretty much from existing network marketing businesses, churn and burn business, and build a very, very solid foundation. They just recently had an event with over 400 people where Paul Jarvis, our COO, and Dan Holtzman, our COO, attended. That was amazing. And the growth of Israel compared to 1 year ago over the past 12 months was an impressive 106%. So in the last year, Israel again doubled in volume. So we are very proud of our friends over there in the Middle East. Small country, but very powerful, and definitely worth a trip to one of their upcoming events. The next market is the Nordics. That's also a smaller market, but we right now have an amazing growth in Finland. Guess what? We have a new NMD here. We just celebrated her, Susanna Tani. Strong focus on event structure, strong focus on CHS, mom with kids, also very strong Juice Plus business. And we just had a regional convention there as well with over 300 people. So that is a great start into a great future for the Nordic markets. And also they've been growing at 15% compared to over last year. The next market I want to talk a little bit about is one of our mature major markets. It's the DACH countries, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. I mean, they've always been the strongest markets, decades back. Germany, Austria, and Switzerland always been leading throughout Europe by far. They've outperformed all these markets until they were taken by the UK and Italy, but they are still a very, very strong pillar. And after some years of going sideways, DACH over the past 12 months have added sales of 50%. So that is an impressive number for a big multi-million dollar, multi-million euro market. And that turnaround happened for the past 18 months. We just had a massive national leadership convention in Berlin with 3,000 people. And we are seeing a strong evolving leadership that's taking over true responsibility, that's driving very strong movements, build a strong event structure. And that's the reasons why market grow. Whenever you see growth in a market, it's because the event structure is in place, because a lot of people put all their blood, sweat, and tears in it, and that's what we are going to see in the DACH markets a lot, and that actually created a tremendous growth. Poland, another small market, but don't underestimate, 164% over last year, so something's happening there. They just had a powerful event as well with 400 people. Also, Paul Jarvis, Dan Holtzman attended that event, and I heard only very good and exciting things about that event. So definitely the fire is on over there. There's a lot of international leadership starting to build organizations there. And I know from my past that Poland is actually a pretty strong network marketing market. So definitely we can expect more of that market. France, I mean, positive influence again from various leaders and their movements in France right now that led to a 137% growth, again, more than doubled. And there's bigger events planned. I just talked to Alain Legrel, the regional manager for France. He just said there's a big event planned for mid-2017 in France. So that market is going to jump on big time, and it's going to be an amazing market as well. Now, another giant, UK, Ireland. I mean, think about it. We've had times, that's where all the movement started. That's actually what created the growth in Europe. And we've had times in UK, Ireland, where the market grew over 1 million in turnover a month for a lot of consecutive months. That was really impressive. And that has been 2 years ago. Yet, compared to last year to this year, there's another 20% on all these multi-million-dollar business again in the UK. So the leadership has done an amazing job, not just to grow the business, but also to stay in the business, fundamental structure. And we are very proud of you guys. And what the leadership is actually doing right now is they focus on a very powerful event structure. They also focus on very smart product bundling. I mean, what kind of products do you offer? Which approach do you take? Micro, macro, that kind of things. That's what they do. And they already even started to promote the spring convention in Birmingham in 2017. So, and the markets that actually had a super top year, actually the best of the best, our number one market right now, Italy, and of course also Spain. They've been growing again another 133% over last year. What we see there is just an amazing growth in leadership. They fully take over responsibility. They have their hands on. They are very social media driven. They just embrace technology. And what they really do is they are just amazing leaders who are willing to help everybody else. So actually we are driving a very powerful cross-line support structure and culture throughout Europe, and that is mainly driven by our leadership in Italy, but very well embraced and also driven by our leadership in the UK and in the DACH market, and that's right now igniting all over Europe. So the number for Europe over the past 12 months in average is 65% growth. And if you do the math, this is exactly in a year what happened with 200% over 3 years. That's exactly a third of it. And it shows that we've had a constant growth by 60 to 70%, 3 years consecutively over the past 3 years, which ended in tripling the business over the past 3 years. We are very proud of you. Thank you so much for all you do. Appreciate all your efforts. This is an amazing success. And remember, it's one thing to drive growth and new business in jumping like grasshoppers in new markets, but driving it in existing markets, that is a true performance, and we are very proud of that. I think we are the only company in our industry right now who have that kind of momentum in their existing markets. A company being over 40 years old, driving with a product that's over 20 years old in existing markets, such a growth that's unparalleled. And that is really special about the Juice Plus company. It happens through a great cross-country culture. The leadership is extremely open, helping each other. There's a lot of cross-organizational communication, and we all follow the common mission, which is inspiring healthy living around the world. So I think Europe has its act together, and we can massively build on what has happened. So to wrap up a little bit that part with the national leadership conventions, I did the math here again. We had 3,000 attendees in Berlin, which is a massive number. We had 4,000 attendees in UK Bournemouth, which is an all-time record number. We had another 1,000 attendees combined in Poland, the Nordics, and Israel, and we expect 3,000 in Rome next month. So if you do the math, I did it for you, it's 11,000 altogether just on fall conventions. And this is definitely, again, a new record, a new 5-figure record. And we are proud of that. And if you think about all the virtual events that go on every single night, all the Zoom calls, the Skype calls, the conferences you do. If you go on Facebook, all the Facebook lives where some of our leaders instantly get 300 to 500 people just on a spontaneous Facebook live event. That's amazing. I believe we right now reach far over 100,000 people every single month. And communicating with such an amount of people, being in touch with so many people hearing from you, learning from you, being close to Just Plus, that's the reason why that success is there. And I believe if we just keep doing this, the sky's the limit, and we'll experience further massive growth with these incredible companies. So regarding the markets, all markets on green, great overview, great things happening. Again, thank you very much on behalf of the company for all what you do out there. And we definitely have a fantastic future ahead of us. Honestly, I believe that there's somebody who can share even more about that and even a little better than I can do that. And this is our today's guest speaker. And I'm very blessed and feel very privileged that he instantly said, yes, let's do it. Actually, he was the one, there he is already. Actually, he was the one who drove me to do the European Leadership Call. It was his idea. And I said, okay, let's do that every single month. But then you're going to be my first guest. And let's give a wholeheartedly welcome to our CEO, Dan Holtzman. Are you there, Dan?
I'm here, Sven, loud and clear. You hear
Fantastic.
me?
Very well.
Perfect. I even have a headphones like you said I should have.
You look amazing.
It's a little bit big now for my head.
Where are you right now?
Actually, my son gave it to me. I don't even have one myself. So I hope the quality is better through that. I actually exchange look to quality of voice. So I guess that's the right thing to do.
No, the quality is amazing. And do you have anything to add to the numbers and the market overview I just gave? Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I have some things to add, Sven. First of all, congratulations to you. It's your first call. And I remember we spoke about it a few weeks ago. I said it would be amazing if you could arrange such a call and inform our leadership, how important it is to have leadership informed and connected to the company. And there somebody like you that has the overview in Europe and even globally is the right person to do it. And you took it very serious, and you spoke to all regional directors and managers, and you put this call together. So congratulations to you. And the first success numbers already here. As you can see yourself, we have 500 participants. That means it's fully booked. The room is full. We had to close the door, but I just guess that in the future you're going to have many more. You need to extend this room to maybe 1,000 or more. Because this call is going to write history. People will listen to this call and they will get the news directly from you, directly from the company. And I appreciate that you started that. I never asked you for me to be the first guest, but of course it's an honor for me to be the one. And let me just add a few things to what you said about the markets. You started with Israel and Finland was the next. And when you call up these two countries, I had to think about, one issue. First of all, these are markets that are not guaranteed for success normally. If you look at the, Finnish history of direct sales, even the Israeli story of direct sales, it's, there's not a lot to read about, and mostly if you read about it's kind of negative. This is why I'm so proud how we changed the rules of direct sales in Israel. Actually, when you look at Roy and his team, first of all his family and his team, then you see a beautiful business they built up mostly based on customers. So that shows what most of the network marketing companies would actually play against, is that you can go to a new market, you can open it, you can have success within a couple of years being number one in Israel in our industry and still build it up on genuine customers and not in front loading and not in distributors and without promises and so on and so on. So I'm especially proud about the market of Israel. But not only that, I thought about Finland when you were speaking. And let's see Finland. Finland is open since about, I would guess, 16 years, maybe 15 to 17 years. I didn't look at the dates. And we had Thorsten there, and Thorsten was doing a great business, but he was alone. He was by himself. And look what's happening now since Susanne started in Finland. And that brings me to the point that it actually needs one person to change the entire market. If you look at Israel, it was, Roy and his family that changed. If you look at Finland, it was Susanne that changed the markets and the growth of the last 15 years. She actually changed the entire number scale, the entire game. If you look at UK, it was, certainly Alex and Rob and John and Katie that changed it. A small group of people are changing the entire market. Look at UK. Before these groups started to work and started to build up their momentum and movement, we had about $100,000 to $150,000 business a month. This group grew a business to almost 7 million a month. So normally it's not really the company that make a change in a market, it's their leaders. And we can be so proud about each of our leaders. And if you look at the successful markets, Sven, you would always see a very successful leader sitting there. Maybe he's not sitting, he's more like running. If it's a Paolo Meucci or the name I just mentioned, or other people like Timo, or whoever you will see who made the market successful. This is what I like about our business. Everyone can sit now, can listen to our call and think I could be the next one that's gonna, start a movement in my city, in my region, even in my country, and change the entire business. So we are all very proud about the growth, and we are certainly proud about our leaders that are just unique. What they achieved the last 2.5, 3 years, what they moved with their movement, it's unparalleled. Like you said before, I would say it's not seen before. We were a $50-60 million business, and we are going through towards a $300 million business just in Europe, and that's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, we cleaned up the first myth. You don't have to be the first to succeed. You just have to be great to succeed, right? So what it actually means is, if you walk outside your comfort zone and you are willing to invest everything and work as hard as our successful leaders do, you can be the next big leader in the Juice Plus company, even in your neighborhood, even in your own home market. Markets are not taken. They are not gone. They are prepared, and you can always add to that and make it even stronger. So we have that potential in each of our markets, not just in the new business we are adding.
Saying that, Sven, I'm a big fan of the second wave, much more than the first wave. I'm not saying that nobody should go for the first wave, but when a market opens, normally the company and also their leaders are going to find a lot of hiccups, and the boundaries and some challenges and so on, that cost money and time. And when you take the second wave, or even if you look at Germany, what the Move Club did, or the W Club, they took the 4th, 5th, 6th wave and had more success than almost anybody before in the last 25 years. And that means that's actually play against all the rumors of our industry, that you need to be at the beginning of something, that you need to be on top of the line to have success. I mean, people in their 100th or 150th generation today make more money than some of the first or second or third generation when we started 25 years ago in Germany. And that means that this system works, and it works forever. It's like infinity, and I would never put the question up again. That's the proof.
Absolutely, Dan. And I mean, you only have to be at the beginning when there's an end, but Juice Plus has no end. This is going to go on and on and on for decades to come. So whenever you join, if you just get started and make the things right, you will succeed. No doubt about that. So this is not a race. This is a marathon. And we are very proud, not about the new guys who joined and turned everything around, but also, of course, of the heritage we've had. Because, I mean, there was somebody in this company for 25 plus years who has built that foundation. So we are having actually very happy to have a great mix of seniority and a lot of fresh blood that has changed a lot, especially since technology changed so much.
Absolutely. As you said, we wouldn't be here without our legend leaders that built up this company, together with the president and owner that is already, over 40 years in the game. And we are very thankful for those. And our legends belongs to the biggest in the industry too. And we're very proud about them. They built the surface, the base for the next generation to come. And we're going to do the same. And the generation that is working now, they're going to build, the base and the surface for the next generation. This is how it's going to happen. We don't see our company as a short-term money-making thing. We want to be here for the next generation. We want our kids to come to one of the events one day, wherever it's going to be, maybe on the moon, on the Mars. But the company is going to be there, even if we are not there. So that's our vision, and that's the way we work. This is why we don't do extreme decisions. Maybe we are sometimes even seen a little bit as boring, but our decisions that we make are thought through, and they are always made for longer than a short period of success. They're made with a long vision. This is how we think. This is how our company works.
So we had talked a little bit about our heritage leadership and our new leadership. I mean, a lot has happened in the past 2.5, 3 years. How has this changed the company, and what especially do you think we have learned from that?
Look, we have learned a lot. I would say our learning curve in the last 2-3 years was probably one of the biggest since we launched Juice Plus. I would say if you look at the company history, there were a few learning curves over the last 40 years. One was 25 years ago when we launched Juice Plus. We had a huge learning curve because some people didn't like Juice Plus at that time and left the company to go to some other deals. And some were staying with us. We know their names. And we as a company, we had to be very strong. We had to have a very strong belief that Juice Plus will make it. Nobody at that time knew that Juice Plus was going to be one day $11 billion product, still growing so fast like you just described. But we had to have the vision together with our small group of leadership that that's going to happen. Now, the second learning curve or steep learning curve, I would say, was 3 years ago, when we understood that the social media is gonna come in to direct sales, and either we open the door towards social media and the way you do business over social media, or we're gonna kind of die with it. So many companies tried it, by the way, and you can read a few books about the last few years, what happened to some companies that didn't jump on the train, that didn't understand what the digital world means, that didn't understand that social media will change our behavior, the way we think, the way we talk, the way we communicate, the way we buy products, the way we sell products, the way we comment on products, and so on. And I think that we were, maybe it's a little bit luck, maybe it's knowledge, maybe it's I would say, if I look at you, Sven, I would say intelligence and knowledge, that we made the right decision together with our leadership and actually kind of transformed the entire company to be a much more e-commerce led company, a much more social media led company. And I would say today we actually looking back to 3 tough years, which had a lot in it, a lot of changing of culture and things like that, but also a positioning for the next 5 to 10 years to come. And we are in the first row. We are in the pole position of this, let's say, new design of companies in our industry. And I today believe more than ever that we could belong to the biggest winner of this new movement of direct sales merged with social media. So I'm actually very proud about our team, about our leadership, about our legend leadership that we're open to learn, we're open to change habits, transform, and I'm happy about the relationship that we have towards our leadership, how we worked hand in hand, cross generation and cross lines, cross teams to put the company on a map globally as it is today.
I think you were really lucky to get that insight very early, because usually in the old days you were thinking in markets and even in cities, and then you had the leader in a city, in a market, and it was all kind of vertical. But today with social media, there are no boundaries. There's actually no geographic. It's all about relationships. So we saw that early. So we actually facilitated that. We kind of brought these leaders together from one end of the globe to the other end of the globe. And I'm even thrilled and impressed how well these guys know each other. I'm connected on Facebook with some guys who live in Australia, and I see them communicate as if they were just close friends and been knowing each other for years with our folks in Europe. So it's on the other side of the world, 12-hour time difference. When they sleep, they're awake, and vice versa. And yet they work together. They do things together. They actually build their organizations together. This is massive. And
there's more, man, there's even more into that. You know, let's also remember that in the days in the 90s and later, you had to really put some money together to do this business. You had to travel. You had to, I mean, you remember 20 years ago, I mean, I'm sure you did about 100,000 kilometers a year driving. You know, you kind of destroyed one car per 2 years. And you were mostly on the highway or the Autobahn. I'm sure you knew, every street by heart. And still, you couldn't reach too many people. You had to drive there, you had to meet them. Sometimes you even had to meet them 2 or 3 times. So social media changed a lot there. And we need to understand that social media is reality. It's not the artificial intelligence, it's a reality. You know, when people meet over social media, this is friendship. This is a real connection, and this can become a real friendship, even though it would be great if they meet in real life, as we call. But the strength that they have through the connection, the online connection, is very strong. I just read that every 7th marriage in Germany is through social media, people that met over social media. And they already proved over these few years that this marriage are holding longer than the marriage that are built outside of the social media world. That means that actually through social media, we meet people better than in real life. We understand it better. We are listening longer to them. We hear them out. We are reading their texts. We are understanding the mindset before we actually meet them and eventually marry them, which of course we don't have to do all the time, but it's very interesting. So that means it's a real relationship. Today, you can work worldwide. It's on your fingertip from your office at home. And I think this working from home in your own time has never been so honest and real like today. I mean, even me, when I posted about Dubai opening, okay, and I'm not a distributor, and I posted about Dubai, the opening Dubai, I had 85 people from Dubai writing me asking me for more information, you know? So this is how it happens today. In the past, I would have to go to Dubai, maybe to knock on doors, maybe put some ads, whatever I had to do, arrange some meetings, and maybe be there for a few months. Today, I posted one post. I had 85 people asking me for more information. Of course, I gave all 85 to distributors that I know they're going to be in Dubai at that time in November and January. But that's the exciting thing about social media, and we are in a pole position there, and I'm very proud about that.
Yeah, this is actually one of the paradigm shifts from hunter to farmer, right? This is exactly what you do. Today, when you're attractive and you put some efforts into your social media profile, you met the 8 commandments, being authentic, being real, being honest, being proactive, then definitely you'll have people want to follow you, and they want to eat out of your bowl of what you got to offer.
So let's not forget one thing. I know we get a little bit into that, and you might not want that, but just one more sentence. The rule didn't change that you have to be attractive and you have to be an exciting person. and a likable person. Gerard Bauer and Wim Plange and Helene Balles and Robert Kolb or James Sanderson, whoever you call up, they had to be attractive 25 years ago, the same way like a Dennis Gonketer needs to be attractive today. Nothing changed here. It's maybe a little bit more open. You're sitting a little bit more in a glass house. You're a little bit more visible, but it's the same rule. Nothing changed there. So if you were attractive 25 years ago with the way you told your story and the way you appeal to people, you would be attractive today in the same way. And I actually like that. We didn't change this rule. This rule is still applicable to everyone. And I think that's amazing because that makes it so real. People have to be honest and real, and they have to be here for the right reason to have success, like 25 years ago. And I can sign that in 25 years, it's going to be the same.
Absolutely. It's all about being authentic, about being real, and this hasn't changed. The artwork, which people have to master, is to translate the old authenticity outside social media into social media, and that's where we had to learn a lot, and that's where we right now fortunately have a lot of great examples where we can learn from, because that wasn't easy. That translation from outside social media into social media, that actually was, for all of us, the hardest part of the game here.
Yeah, and it's still, Sven.
And it's a process, not an event, right? Like Dak would say. That brings me to my next question to you. I mean, we talked a little bit about 2020 and our vision that we created 3 years ago, where we got started in 2013. And there's 4 more years to go. And share a little bit with the people what's happening behind the scenes and how serious we as a company take that, so that they know what they can expect.
Yeah, when we created the 2020 vision, we had a big scale of let's say we have a big circle that we wanted to achieve. Certainly one point of the circle was the distributor part, the markets, the products, but also a very important one is the company. Having and working a company that is soon 50 years old, actually in 2020 it's going to be exactly 50 years old, you need to start to think out of the box. You might, like yourself too much and like what you do too much, and then you end up having seeing yourself and your management actually, how do you call it? Knocking on the shoulder. How do you call that, Sven?
Tapping on the shoulder.
Tapping on the shoulder. Yeah, that's it. And kind of be happy with themselves and what they do, and people earn good money, and we had to kind of get out of this comfort zone. And the company, being successful and growing and having a good profit line and so on would actually almost convince us to stay as we are and not touch anything. Not like you say, don't change a winning team. But this is not true today. Today, you need to be ready to be very flexible, to set up your team and your investment and your movements and certainly your decisions for the next 10 years or 15 years. And they never look the same like before. We had to reinvent the wheel to reach the success we have today. And we are still in the process of doing that. As a company, we need to give the feeling as if we would be a startup that excites people with the story of a startup company, because every one of a distributor that signs up today is a startup. So he needs to have a feeling that we are growing with him and we are moving in the same pace like him. But on the other hand, we have the exclusivity and the luxury almost to be a company that is so stable and has such an experience over the last 50 years and went through, thick and thin and seen so many things happening and so many companies come and go. So this merger of being, very much visionary like we are, but having the experience actually put us in the best place we can be. Now, as a company in 2020, we want to show a new face. Okay, I would not say it's like a surgery, like a plastic surgery. I would say it's even more than that. We go back to school, we learn new languages, we maybe make a new degree. We might also cut a little bit of hair and, get a little bit of a facial or something. But as a company, we want to look fresh and new in 2020. and we actually modernize everything within the company. We turn, as I said at the conventions, we turn every page around and ask us the question: is it still accurate? Is it going to be strong enough to survive? It's almost like changing the furniture in the apartment. Sometimes you just don't throw something away, even if you don't use it. So we are asking ourselves, do we still need these chairs? Do we still need this cupboard? Maybe we need some new stuff in the house. Maybe we need a new carpet. So we want to be modern and, if I may use this word, sexy as ever before in 2020. And like I said before, as a company wants to stay in the pole position, we need to put the question marks every day on the table. And we need to be a company that every day wants to achieve better and want to take the next step, never too comfortable, never too lazy. Like that, you guarantee that we're going to have growth in 5 or 10 or 15 years from now. So actually, we are looking at everything. We are looking at new markets. I think Paul Jarvis, our new CEO, said that the plan is to open 10 markets in the next 5 years. Dubai is going to be the first one, as we all know, in January 14th. I'm very excited about it. Just been in Dubai last week, had a few meetings, met the people around. I mean, it's going to be just an amazing market. I think one of our best markets. So I'm very excited about that. Everyone I spoke to was excited about Juice Plus coming. Every taxi driver, the guys at the airport, the people in the hotel, the concierge. Why are you here? We are opening a company, Juice Plus. What is it? Nutrition. Wow, everyone wants it in Dubai. They even told me we can ask for any price we want. They will pay it. I guess they meant the sheikhs in Dubai and not the hardworking Pakistanis and Indians and Filipinos that are there. But still, I'm very excited about this market. We also going to have new product line. I can tell you a secret today. For the first 500 participants I see, they're still on. We are actually working on a product that might come in about, let's say, over the next 2 years. Might be a year, might be 2 years. And it's going to be a product to drink. And it's going to be a product that is going to change the entire world of beauty and cosmetic and skin health. And we are putting a lot of knowledge in this product right now because we believe that for the markets like Brazil and Japan, even China, South Korea, and some others, beauty products are very important. Now, we are not going into cosmetics. Don't worry about that. We're going into nutrition that is going to enhance skin structure. I'm not going to say more than that, and we are working very hard on that. Beside that, as you know, we are, by the way, it's going to be a shot. It's going to be not expensive. You're going to need 30 bottles a month. So every day, one bottle is going to be an automatic reorder product. It's going to be for young people and for old people or older people. And it's going to be people where it's going to be a product where the difference is going to be visual in about 5-6 days. So visible in about 5-6 days. But we're going to have the Omega, which we have a slight delay right now, unfortunately. But the Omega is going to come out, I understand, should be before Christmas. So I'm very excited about new products too. So everything we touch, I mean, we just invested almost $20 million in our IT system. We all dream of, having a real-time virtual office, having the possibility to run the commission run every day. So we know our numbers, we know our qualifications, and so on and so on. Things that maybe other new companies have already because they don't have the legacy that we have. They don't have millions of data in their computer because they just started. So it's not always an advantage to be a company that's 50 years on the market, but at the end of the day, there are more advantages and disadvantages for sure. So 2020, we're going to present a company that you guys have never seen before and that you're going to love like nothing before.
That's amazing. And I'm seeing in the chat already that people ask, can we promote that on social media? And the answer is please don't, because you will raise too many expectations. I think you were actually the first ones of everybody in the field who heard that story about that beauty shot, as I'd call it right now. This is going to be amazing. It just shows you what we are working on. Dan, we are running out of time. I wasn't expecting anything else when we two are on the call together, but I have a last question for you. And I mean, everybody knows you and wants to know you a little bit more as Dan Holtzman. So next to all the things you shared about the company, what are your personal goals as a family dad, as a traveler, as a successful entrepreneur with this Vehicle Juice Plus? Just show people a little bit what you personally think where this is going to take you and us together.
Yeah, that's a good question, Sven. You know, for me, there's a promise outside there from us. We put a promise on stage. We put a promise out to the world that, you know, we inspire people around the world to live more healthy and to be more conscious about their health, their kids. There's a promise outside from us that you can have a good plan B opportunity with Juice Plus. You can make a few $100 a month, and you can even grow it to a plan A if you want. And some do, and some make you know, very nice money with it. And my goal is that I want to be able to look into every distributor's eye every day. And let's not forget that we have 10,000s of distributors that are starting every month, and they're coming into our business with the same promise. So my personal goal is to keep this promise alive, Sven, to actually to enable the company to hold this promise, to be financially structured a way that we would never risk this promise, to actually almost guarantee the future of the people that are walking with us and going with us, and showing them that we are here as a company, we are here as a partner, we are here as a friend, we are here as a family, whatever you call it, and we will always be here. I want to, I really and truly believe that there is no better opportunity than Juice Plus in the world. And my personal goal is to keep that promise alive. And certainly there are many goals around that. You know, I really want to be a $1 billion company in 2020. We are not far away from that, as you know. We need to grow about, 10, 12% a year. So we would have it. We might grow even, stronger. But the 1 billion 2020 is possible. I always wanted to be a partly owner of a $1 billion company. So now we are there, the first time in history. And I want to touch more and more people's life. That's the goal that every distributor should have. And that's the goal the company should have. That's my personal goal.
Amazing. Thank you very much. This is truly mission-driven. You have a great purpose to convey. And actually, I bought into this from you too. You know, I bought into your vision, into your passion, and a lot of great things has happened since then. And I think it's going to be an awesome future. So Dan, I got to thank you for tonight's time. I know you are not in Europe right now. You're traveling again. So thanks for still making the call anyway today. And thanks for your time. Please stay with us. I'm going to make a few announcements to end the call. And it's been amazing. Thanks again. Thanks a lot.
Sven, thank to you. First of all, you're an amazing leader. Everybody knows that. It's had a chance to spend more than a minute with you. And as they call you, Dr. Value, you're a very important member in this vision that I just explained. So keep on going. I know you are hardworking. It's not always easy with 3 kids at home and all the things around. And at the end of the day, we also want a happy wife beside us. And you have one, so you made everything right. So keep on going. And thanks for, support over the last 3 years, and you dedication and engagement and everything you did. You are a very important stone in this success mosaic that we as a global company are putting together.
Thanks very much. Appreciate these words, my friend. It's amazing. And I'm driven by passion. I really fell in love with the Juice Plus company more and more over time, and especially with all our great people out there. A lot of friendships have developed. And like you, I feel a kind of an obligation to drive this forward. This is stop, and there's no point where we should stop. So thanks again, Dan. And we are already running out of time. So let's travel through with some part 3 of the call, some announcements. I'll dash through that a little bit because Dan touched quite some of those. The first thing is, of course, our new market, Dubai. we are really well proceeding with the preparations. And as Dan said, this is going to be an amazing market. And as amazing as the market is, as professionally we want to approach it, it's not only a great market in itself, but in the coming years for us also a great gateway into the Middle East and Asia. So it's a hub. We've had a great initial meeting in Basel with 20 selected leaders, which are spread all across the uplines, to give them a first-hand information and get to know them with our master distributors, Eric Gottschalk and Mohamed Al-Suwaidi. We are very happy to have these two gentlemen on board. So they are taking care that the Juice Plus business is going to really take off the ground in Dubai. For those of you who don't know yet, there is a pre-launch event with restricted seating on November 22nd. Your leadership is informed about that for some people on the ground. But the official opening meeting, and that's the meeting which you should definitely put in your calendar, is the 14th of January. So whenever you think about contacting somebody there, and you don't need to travel there by yourself, because traveling is always expensive, as Dan mentioned as well, you can still reach out per social media, because maybe you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who's interested in Juice Plus. You've heard that everybody on the ground is interested in nutrition, in fitness. And so the January 14th meeting is our kickoff. Everything is there. We will be fully operative by then. And I believe this is an amazing start of an amazing market for 2017. And more markets to come. Regarding this call, this European leadership call, I mean, personally, I'm really overwhelmed about the amount of people who jumped on that call. We maxed out too early. Apologies for that, but we're going to have the call available for you tomorrow in the virtual office. And over time, of course, we want to make this an institution, and we want to make this call utmost efficient, informative, and interesting for you. So feel free to feedback your PMD, who can then put it in the PMD group for us with feedback. If you have any ideas, if there was something you didn't like, but please not talk about capacity. We understand that part, right? But anything else, if you didn't like it really, make sure you write it. And if you like somebody, if you expect something, write it to us as well. And we are trying to make this call, which is on a monthly base, every third Tuesday in the month, something very exciting for you, because we believe it's the best way to communicate. So that takes me to the next call. The next call is going to take place on the 22nd of November at night. And guess what? It is exactly on the day where we are in Dubai. So you're going to hear that call live from Dubai, and 9 o'clock night is 12 o'clock midnight in Dubai. So I will be able to report live from what we experienced there in the pre-launch event and give you some more updates on that exciting market. But what's much more important than broadcasting from Dubai is my guest speaker. And my guest speaker on this call is our COO, Paul Jarvis. And Paul is just with us a few months and already has made a major impact. He's an amazing person. He's very knowledgeable. He's a funny guy. He's great to be around with, and he just knows a lot. He grasps things fast. And we are working very close together right now. And the thing we work on a lot is a new event and recognition structure, totally upscale to what we know, to what you know. And we're going to talk about this and make a few announcements in the November call. So make sure you mark that call in your calendars. It's the 22nd in November. So let me close with a little call to action for you guys. And I think what's very important is to understand that right now in October, November, and December, this is high season for our business. It's the best time of the year, because what you do in October to December, that's going to determine the success you have throughout the entire 2017. This is very, very powerful. So right now is the time to keep your foot not just on the gas, but to press the pedal further down. And the last thing what you want to do is actually slow down. So press it further down. And for those of you who were spoiled a little bit like us by the 2016 successes and all the successes we had in a few years, I mean, let's not get fooled by that. You know, we've had amazing success. There are leaders on that call who have quadrupled, maybe times 10, increased their income. And life gets sweeter, life gets a little more interesting, you know, great things happen. But don't get fooled by that, because as fast as success comes, it can go away again. And especially when success is mostly there, is the strongest, you got to keep the foot on the gas and drive even harder. And that is my question and That's my message to you tonight. Make that commitment to yourself, to your leaders, to really keep on going full blast until the end of the year. And let's make 2017 an exciting year towards our big vision 2020, where we will be $1 billion company. And I don't believe it's going to be on a global scale. I believe we can even reach the billion throughout Europe only. And this is actually our new goal that we've set. So having said that, I really, again, appreciate all of you. Thanks for your valuable time that you were on this call tonight. Thanks for being part of the first European leadership call, and see you very soon somewhere on this planet. Also, thanks to you, Dan, for being part of the call. Thanks, everybody. Good night.